What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog fantasy plays for Friday, January 3rd, 2025. Also Saturday, January 4th, and Sunday, January 5th. Lots of slips to get to today. If you're new to Underdog, you want to get a little bonus when you sign up for Underdog. Use promo code DailyDog. That's DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. Again, if you're new, there's no better way to do it than that promo code DailyDog. Again, that's one word, and that is the best promo code available on Underdog. So 50% deposit match bonus worth up to $1,000. You're not going to do any better anywhere else. Use that one, and we got lots of slips to get this weekend, starting today, starting Friday, and then we're going Saturday and Sunday as well. It's hard to say the date, by the way. I'm still not used to saying 2025, but maybe by February it'll be normal. Let's get into it, though. We got some bowl games today. They're kind of chalky. I made some chalky slips for today's college football games, but you got to do what you got to do. I'm going to go with Jordan McCloud, higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns. He's the Texas State quarterback. He passes a ton, they pass a ton, they score a lot of TDs. So give me Jordan McCloud higher than 1.5 passing TDs. Pairing that with Max Brosmer, the quarterback for Minnesota, his longest rush higher than 7.5 yards. He's not necessarily like a fleet-footed guy, but it's a bowl game. All bets are off. You got to do whatever you can to make things happen. Higher than 7.5 yards, definitely in the realm of possibilities. He's crushed this number many times. I think his longest on the year is a 28-yard rush, but he's got plenty of 8, 9, 10-yarders. So give me Max Brosmer higher than 7.5 rush yards for his longest rush. This is a 2.48x multiplier. Little one, but let's just build some bankroll here because this one should be hitting. Next one should also be hitting. This one's also very, very chalky. We're going Lincoln Pare higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. He's the running back for Texas State. He's usually the second string guy, but he does have a lot of touchdowns for this team. He's the battering ram. The first string guy is actually in the portal, so that means more opportunities for Lincoln here. Lincoln Pare higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. We're pairing that with Darius Taylor, higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. He's the running back for Minnesota. He's going to have steady tide of work in this game versus Virginia Tech. He is, their leading rusher. He's got 11 TDs on the year. He's going to get another one right here. This is 1.54x multiplier. All right, let's get to the NBA on Friday. We're going to go with RJ Barrett, higher than 18.5 points. He's missed some time with some injuries. He's been a little bit banged up, but I think the rest will do him good. I think he's going to play in this game. I think he's going to do just fine. So give me RJ Barrett, higher than 18.5 points. This number is extremely low. If he was fully healthy, or wasn't coming off an injury, this thing would be much higher. Magic coming to town. Magic are, an underpowered team. They don't necessarily play super fast, but again, this number is way too low for RJ Barrett this season. Then we're going to go with Jordan Poole, higher than 3.5 three-pointers made. Wizards playing the Pelicans. Pelicans are terrible. I don't know why this number is so low. Jordan Poole is the leading, the leading scorer for this team. He's been really hot lately, so I'm going to keep riding him. Higher than 3.5 three-pointers made for Jordan Poole. This is a 3.12x multiplier when you pair Poole with RJ Barrett, higher than 18.5 points. Friday NBA, number 2, we're going Jaren Jackson Jr., higher than 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Grizzlies at the Kings, high-scoring game. I'm assuming should be a very good scoring environment for him to get a lot of points. I mean, if he gets 30-plus points like he's done a couple times recently, this thing is going to get crushed. But, I mean, honestly, just get to 25 and we are good. 24 even. I'm Jaren Jackson Jr., higher than 36.5 points, rebounds, assists. I really like his chances in this one. Then we are going to go with Jalen, Duren, the center for the Pistons, higher than 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Hornets don't play too much D. They don't have too many strong guys inside. Great spot for Jalen Duren to shine, even though he's, often overshadowed on this team and he's kind of frustrating at times. But that being said, 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists in this matchup versus the Hornets is a situation where he should eat. So I like that one. This is a 3x multiplier. Let's get to NHL number 1 for Friday. We're going to go with Sidney Crosby, higher than 0.5 assists, as the Penguins take on the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers are on a back-to-back here. They're obviously a better team than the Penguins. Don't let my jacket fool you. I'm pretty honest about how, where this team ranks in the NHL. They're not that great, but back-to-back for Florida. There's going to be some goals by Pittsburgh here, and Sidney Crosby is involved in a lot of goals. He gets a lot of helpers. So give me Crosby higher than 0.5 assists, pairing that with Nick Suzuki higher than 0.5 assists as the Canadiens take on the Blackhawks. Suzuki's got 25 assists on the year. Blackhawks not a very good team. They allow goals. Canadiens playing really well right now, actually. They're like on a little bit of a hot streak. I mean, they've won 3 games in a row versus VGK, the Lightning, and the Panthers. If they hold that form, they're going to kill the Blackhawks here. So Lots of opportunities for Suzuki to have an assist. This is a 3.27x multiplier. NHL number 2, we are going to go with Sam Reinhart, higher than 0.5 goals. He is facing the Penguins. Penguins allow a ton of goals. I know that I said it could be a slower spot for the Panthers on the back-to-back, but I still think Sam Reinhart can score on this Penguins team. Come on. And we're going to pair that with my boy, Troy Terry of the Anaheim Ducks, higher than 0.5 points. Just a good point getter lately. I mean, he's the leading point getter for the Ducks, but he's been really hot lately. We're going to keep on riding that. I think the Ducks are going to be more competitive in this game against the Oilers than you would expect. It's 3.54x multiplier. All right, we got a Friday lotto ticket where we go multiple sports here. We're going to go Joey Hobart, higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. He's the leading wide receiver for Texas State. I think that he's going to get it done here. I think they're going to score a ton of points in this game, and Joey Hobart is going to be a part of that. We're going to pair that with Alperen Sengun, higher than 0.5 3-pointers made. Sengun is obviously, he's actually on a really cold streak. He hasn't hit a 3-pointer in several games. He's due, and I think he's going to take more chances to do it in this Celtics game. It should be a high pressure, high scoring environment, high shooting environment. He might have to do something a little extra here. Higher than 0.5 3-pointers made. Really easy for him to do. He is capable. He's capable of crushing this. So let's get it. Then we're going to go with Zach Hyman of the Oilers, higher than 0.5 goals. I think the Ducks are going to be competitive, but I still think the Oilers are going to score, obviously. Zach Hyman always gets overshadowed by some of his line mates, but I think he's got a good shot to score in this one. And then the last one, Jalen Brunson, higher than 2.5 3-pointers made. Again, he's a guy that can, take over games with his scoring, with his assists, with everything else. In this matchup against the Thunder, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the star Jalen Brunson to get stuff done. 3-pointers go a long way to when it comes to competing with, possibly the best team in the NBA, which is the OKC Thunder. So give me Jalen Brunson higher than 2.5 3-pointers made. This is 17.12x multiplier, or if you flex it, it's 10.27x or 2.56x if it goes 3 out of 4. All right, let's get to Saturday NFL. The one I gave out on Wednesday was chased around lower than 68.5 rushing yards. It's now 69.5. I don't necessarily think that's a good number. I don't think that's a good move. And Chris Boswell higher than 1.5 field goals. We got it at a flat multiplier. Now it's 0.89x. It's now at so now this 2-leg entry is 2.67x instead of 3x, what we've entered earlier in the week. Not that good. I think you don't need to play this right now. I think you can find some other stuff on this if you did not take this one early. Saturday, NFL number 2. This is the one I gave out on Thursday. Jerry Jeudy higher than 49.5 receiving yards. That's up to 53.5. And we took George Pickens higher than 64.5 receiving yards. Now it's 65.5. This is still 3x multiplier. Love to see that closing line value, which has no bearing on if we're going to win or not. But I like that we're on the right side of these ones. All right. Saturday, NFL number 3, the new one. Myles Garrett higher than 0.5 sacks. Garrett and Trey Hendrickson are in a race to lead the league in sacks this year. I think Garrett is going to be able to get it done here. Who knows if Lamar Jackson plays this whole game. Lamar Jackson can be sacked. I mean, sometimes he holds on to it too long. He's obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But again, I think Myles Garrett is going to be hungry to get another sack here and lead the league in sacks. Pairing that with Joe Burrow, Joey B higher than 2.5 passing touchdowns against the Penguins. Against the Steelers. He has done this in like 8 straight games. I mean, Joe Burrow is just a touchdown machine right now. I think the Steelers secondary can be got. I think that he's got plenty of weapons. So give me those two guys together on Saturday. That's a 3.89x multiplier. Let's move on to Sunday NFL number 1. Cortland Sutton higher than 79.5 receiving yards is a higher number because I think he's going to get 82.5 or 82 because that's what he needs for a big contract bonus, $500K. Pairing that with Mike Evans higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. Mike Evans, obviously, big TD getter. He needs to have a big game here. He needs 85 plus yards to get 1,000 on the season. Obviously, he wants to get another touchdown as well, 5 more catches. If he's getting that many yards and that many catches for his incentives, I think he's got a great shot of scoring a touchdown. This is 3.69x multiplier. Sunday NFL number 2, Jackson Smith and Jigba higher than 66.5 receiving yards. Geno Smith needs 186 passing yards in this game for a big bonus. Geno Smith also needs to keep his completion percentage high for a big bonus. I think JSN is his safest receiver. It's his favorite receiver. Great shot to get big things done against the Rams here, who are not playing for anything. Pairing that with Justin Herbert, lower than 237.5 passing yards. I'm not sure that the Chargers are going to keep him in the full game. Their destiny could already be determined by the time this game goes off. So if he doesn't need to play the whole game, I don't know why they would play him the whole game. I mean, if he's not available for the playoffs, they have absolutely no shot. I don't know if the Chargers have any real shot at going deep in the playoffs anyway. But without Herbert, I mean, they are in deep, deep trouble. All right, Sunday NFL number 3, Aaron Rodgers higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns against the Dolphins. Oh my God, I know that Aaron Rodgers is, just the most annoying person in the NFL right now. But he needs to get 500. I think they want to end his career and this era with a bang against a kind of weak opponent with the Dolphins, higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns. And then we're going to pair that with Brian Thomas, higher than 0.5 rushing and plus receiving touchdowns. This Jaguars rookie has been an absolute stud all year. So give me Brian Thomas Jr. higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. I don't know if you noticed, but this Colts defense got torched by Drew Lock in the Giants last week. I think Brian Thomas is going to be fine here. All right, now we got a full weekend lotto sweat. This thing starts Friday, goes till Sunday, and it is eight picks on this entry. We're starting out with Jaden Williams, one of the other wide receivers for Texas State, higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. Pairing that with Rickard Raquel, higher than 0.5 goals for the Penguins against the Panthers. Raquel is the leading goal scorer for the Penguins. Hopefully, Sidney Crosby gets an assist with this one. Then we're going to go with Zach Edey, higher than 9.5 rebounds. I think the Grizzlies are going to be in a great spot to get lots of rebounds in this game against the Kings. Give me the Edey higher than 9.5 rebounds. Pairing that with George Pickens on Saturday, higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns against this terrible Bengals defense. On Sunday, Adam Thielen, higher than 63.5 receiving yards. Thielen, I don't know how much gas he has left in the tank, but he should have enough to torch this pretty weak secondary for the Atlanta Falcons. Next one, Cortland Sutton, higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. He's got an incentive to score a TD in this game. I think they're going to try to do it. I think the Broncos are going to go all out to crush the Chiefs here. One other opportunity that they're going to have to do that. Then we're going to go Devontae Adams, higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. I think that Aaron Rodgers is throwing 2. If he throws 2, one's going to Devontae Adams. Last one, this is an alt lower because I had maxed out the multiplier and I don't want to leave value on the table. So I lowered Justin Jefferson's receiving yard total to 79.5 receiving yards. This thing should be a lock to close out this slip on Sunday Night Football. If this goes 8 for 8, 280.03x multiplier. If it goes 7 for 8, 12.65x. If it goes 6 for 8, it's 4.53x. This is a flex. Let's do it. Let's hit this big one. I mean, if you put $25 on this thing and it hits, we're making $7,000 right here. So that's all I got for you today and all weekend long. Let's make some money.